Out in the atrium, please feel free to come on in. We're going to start the demos. So good evening, everyone. Smile. It's Monday. My name is Jeremiah. You've probably seen my name in at least a Yahoo mailer to you or an email or something like that. I help organize Mobile Monday events, so thanks for coming out tonight. Tonight we've got 10 awesome progressive demos of LBS services. So Geo's all the rage right now with companies like Simple Geo, Google Maps, everyone kind of taking off. We've got 10 examples of awesome apps that utilize those services. So to start off tonight, I'm just going to go through a little bit about Mobile Monday. For those of you who are new to the organization, never been to an event, and just kind of a refresher for those of you who have. So apologies for all the text there. So Mobile Monday is a group that's been around since arguably the beginning of mobile, right? In 1999, I'm not sure how many of you can remember 1999 cell phones. They weren't really existent. In fact, the major mobile device was a pager, right? Raise your hand if you still have a pager. So there's one. So that kind of gives you an idea of, in just 11 years, how much mobile has progressed. These are what we're all about, and we're all about education, community, trying to foster innovation, and that's why we have events like this to really highlight progressive applications of LBS and other types of mobile technologies. So tonight what we're going to do is I'm going to give a real short presentation here, just outlining what we're up to. You guys all filled out this awesome survey we had on the Eventbrite, so I'm going to give you the results of that. Then we're going to have a word from our sponsor, NAVTEQ. And then we're going to give away 2 tickets to Gigwalk Mobilize conference, so that'll be awesome. And then we'll finally get started with our demos. So just to give you some more idea, we were founded in Helsinki, another big mobile company from the Northland, Nokia. So it was a big movement back then. We started in 2000, and now we're a worldwide network of over 80 cities and 100,000 plus members. So this is Mobile Monday Silicon Valley, one of the most well-attended Mobile Mondays across the world, really. So it's really awesome. It really shows you where the heart of application and mobile development is. So every year we hold a bunch of events. We get corporate sponsors like NAVTEQ, like these other companies, Google, GetJar, large companies that are interested in reaching out to the progressive mobile community. See what everyone's up to and try and get in touch with what's the next big thing and how are we going to capitalize on that in mobile, right? I mean, no one can really argue with the potential of mobile. We all have super powerful computers that are personalized to us in our pockets, and these companies try and take advantage of that. I'm also really proud to announce that we finally have a new Mobile Monday Silicon Valley website. Very awesome. So feel free, we're going to throw up the companies that demo here tonight on this site, mobilemonday.us, as it says at the top there. And we're trying to make it the place where we all congregate online, right? So right now we're all in Yahoo groups. We're trying to move a little bit away from that, and make everyone be able to get the information and communicate with each other more effectively, and that's going to occur at mobilemonday.us. So if you haven't already, make sure you go. Join our community, and feel free to leave comments, feedback, anything you want. Reach out to the organizing committee of Mobile Monday. So to answer all those questions about what you guys showed us, what is a cross-section of the mobile community, right? By answering these questions. So iPhones, clearly the predominant mobile device, at least for this community. Not too far behind is Android, and then everything becomes a very far third, fourth, fifth. And then what we've seen is a lot of people here are in product. So there's a lot less developers, a lot of people in product, a lot of people trying to manage. So this is interesting if you're here to network, if you're here to kind of meet other members of the community. This gives you a good breakdown of what Mobile Monday Silicon Valley really is. And this is awesome. We have a lot of people coming back. So we're a community. We've been around, we've been hosting events for quite some time now. And the predominant majority come back to these events, which is awesome. It shows you guys are really involved with the community and helping out. And I showed that last slide, 2 slides ago actually, because most of you are here to network. So everyone make sure you have a name tag, make sure you communicate with a lot of people. There's companies as diverse as NAVTEQ, as ad networks, as mobile developers. Really anything you are looking to add to your mobile application, you can find someone who has some expertise in this room tonight. And then going back with a lot of people using iOS and Android, most developers support those 2 platforms. Looks like Windows Mobile and BlackBerry are about the same, right? So if you're a developer, raise your hand if you're one of the Windows Mobile developers. We got 1 in the back there. 3, 4. Cool. And then this is the same kind of thing. If you were not, this is interesting because this is to everyone, not just the developers, right? So we saw here that most developers are doing iOS and Android, followed by semi-distant third HTML5. But here, actually, what most people are saying is, if they could build apps themselves, they would definitely build them for an iThingy, followed by a browser-ish thingy. So that's just something interesting to think about. For those who are not building for iOS and therefore submitting to other app stores, we asked you what app stores you're submitting to. Default Android market, which is pretty interesting. And then we have Amazon, and in between is GetJar. So the last little audience participation slide that I'm going to show you is who here is planning on using LBS or has. Not surprisingly, the majority of the attendees for this event have implemented LBS or are planning on it for an experience, which is awesome, right? Geo is the ultimate context. So I'm here, we're all here in this event. I'd love to talk to you all about mobile because we share this geo-specific spot. And then Mobile Mondays consists of a group of volunteers. We all have day jobs and we volunteer to put these events on, make them a success. We love your feedback, so if you have any, feel free to leave it on the website, email any of us. We also have a Twitter handle, obligatorily. So thanks to them, and thanks to you all for showing up. So now we're going to have a quick word from our sponsor, NAVTEQ. So if you wouldn't mind giving her a round of applause and thank her for supporting this event.
LBS Demo Night. My name is and I manage the developer relations program for NAVTEQ. And as Jeremiah said, we are one of the sponsors here tonight. As we said, the focus for tonight is on progressive applications for geo. And he asked the question, but I just wanted to see again a quick show of hands on how many of you have already built some sort of element of location relevance into your apps. Yeah, exactly. And the rest of you probably within the next 6 months? Well, it's, it's the ubiquitous, the location sharing is going to become ubiquitous. It's still at this point a fact that location apps are a category, like gaming or social networking or enterprise apps are categories that we're seeing every day that applications are going to be building in some sort of location relevance into every type of application, so much so that it's not going to stay a category on its own anymore, but it's going to be a piece of some really interesting applications. Okay. It's not just ubiquitous, but it's also, location also provides the potential for tremendous revenue. And Gartner shows us that the LBS revenue over the next 2.5 years is going to be about $8 billion. From user spending, advertising revenue, from transaction revenue. And it's not just revenue, it's also numbers of users. They're estimating 1.75 billion users when you aggregate all the different kinds of users together, from navigation, location relevant search, social networking sites, and family location and safety services. So really, the kinds of opportunities that lie before us as developers is limitless. So, for example, and I'm sure some of you are already thinking of these kinds of ideas, but you've got a commute ahead of you, and you're working in the city today. You drive to the train station. It routes you around potentially a construction site. It tells you that the train's on time and which track it's coming in on. Your application gives you information about, walking information from the train station to the appointment. It lets you know that there's a Pete's just around the corner, and that potentially you might want to have a free croissant with your coffee order. Those kinds of things are becoming very common in applications. Or imagine an application where you're in a new city, you're exploring, and as you're walking past a landmark or a fountain or what have you, you get information, historical and sort of information about what that historical landmark might mean. Or indoor mapping. You have to pick up a birthday gift on the way to the mall. It tells you where the closest parking spot is, where you might, which entrance you should use, which floor Crate and Barrel is on. It might tell you that your buddy is also at the mall and they can stop and have a quick coffee together. So all of these kinds of things are becoming ubiquitous and much more usable and useful today with the kind of information that's available. 3D information, the indoor mapping, the pedestrian information, all of this stuff that you can build into apps. And if you kind of pull that forward, how you're going to put location relevance into business applications. So this is what we see as the future of mobile. So NAVTEQ obviously realizes this. You might know NAVTEQ as the GPS provider in your car, but you might not know that we are the largest global provider of enterprise-based maps, traffic, and location data in the world. It's the content that we provide is enterprise class, so it's far more than just the network, the traffic, and the routing. It's more than 300 attributes on points of interest and enhanced navigation details, and give you information, for example, like where the entrance to the hospital is, as opposed to the street address of the hospital. NN4D, that's NAVTEQ Network for Developers, is here. Actually, we're based out of the plug-and-play office in Silicon Valley, and we're here to work with developers like yourselves to start building some of this information and help you to build this information into your apps. There's a portal called nn4d.com where we have SDKs and APIs on all of our mapping content, and APIs on the LPA, Location Point Advertising Platform, which is a platform to help you start building location-relevant information and advertising into your apps. We also provide information and APIs about some of our partners, like DigitalGlobe and Imagination Technologies, who provide 3D graphics and rendering, and that kind of information is available on the website. And then once you've built an application using our content or LPA, we'd like to help you promote it. So we have an online marketing catalog called the NAVTEQ Application Warehouse. And it's an online marketing catalog of NAVTEQ-based apps. So we, on a regular basis, provide information to other communities. We blog about it. There's information about apps on newsletters and on Developer Spotlight. And the App Warehouse is a place that we send all of our worldwide customers to go and find apps. So a way for you to get in front of customers you might not otherwise have access to. So if you're interested in hearing more about any of those things, I can talk to you later about that. And so really, without any further ado, I'd like to turn the microphone over to the companies who have figured out how to successfully build location relevance into their consumer apps, and are willing to share their thoughts and experiences with us. So, Jeremiah?
Thanks, guys. It's important for us as a community to have sponsors like NAVTEQ who are willing to come out and sponsor these community events and make them happen. They wouldn't happen otherwise. And without that, without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mark. He'll be giving away tickets to Mobilize from a collection of business cards you all gave us as you came into the day.
Hi guys, she said she was going to get to the companies without further ado, but you get me, so I guess I'm further ado. So what we're going to do is we're going to give away a couple tickets to the GeoLoco conference. How many people here have been to either GeoLoco or Social Loco? A few of you. Couple conferences. Yeah, a little love. A couple conferences. These conferences were really formed around the location business and how that's interacting with social, and especially how brands are interacting with local. So if you're really into like how are we going to get these brand advertising guys to pull the wallet out of their pocket and spend some money into this thing, that's what the conference is about. So GeoLoco, but it's, by the way, it's run by a guy named Mark Evans whose neck is tweaked, and so I'm channeling him here. The GeoLoco conference is November 3rd. I won't tell you all about it, but the keynotes are Brian McClendon is the VP of Google Maps, so you may think he's the greatest thing in the world or Darth Vader, but you will get to go and ask him your questions. He runs the whole Google Geo thing, which is a big thing. A guy named Paul Adams. Paul Adams was the guy who put out the white paper at Google that thought, wouldn't social networks be cool if you could group people into these little things called circles? And then before Google Plus came out, he went over to Facebook, so he's at Facebook now. That should be an interesting talk. And then a guy named Adam Brotman who runs a digital policy for Starbucks, and Starbucks is doing a bunch of cool stuff. So GeoLoco is a great thing. I'm going to pull two things. If your card comes up, you get a freebie ticket, which you can use or sell on Craigslist at your discretion. If you're unlucky enough not to do that, if you act now or before October 2nd, you can get one for $2.99 or $2.95 or something like that. Look at the website. If you mention my name in the little offer thing, the price will stay the same. It does, you absolutely no idea. So we'll do that. Last thing, and then I'll bring up my lovely assistant Olivier to pick the name out of that. But last thing is also that this is GeoLoco's November 3rd. November 2nd, they're having an award ceremony called the Locals, like the Emmys, the Locals. And there's a bunch of categories. If any of you are developers, I'd encourage you to enter in the Locals. It's free. If you go to the GeoLoco website, you can find it. They've got all kinds of categories like best use of location, best infrastructure if you have a company with APIs. You get to vote for who's your favorite location technorati blogger guy, who's your favorite location investor you can suck up to your VCs. So think about entering the Locals. That should be a good conference. So, got all that? Without further ado, Olivier, would you like to do the end? Don't look. Oh, man. Yeah, okay. The first one is from Nokia, Grace G. Grace here? You don't have to come up. I don't have anything to give you. I'll just put it in my pocket and call you. Okay, try to get a little more original here. Come on, go for the thinner paper. And Jennifer Peck from Banjo. You don't have to come up. I don't have anything to give you. So you two, I will call you and give you those fabulous free prizes. The rest of you, if you act before October 2nd, you get the fabulous deal. Don't forget to mention me, and nothing will happen. Thanks.
Great. So now we're going to start our demo segment, the thing we all came here for. First up is going to be a company that is going to show us some awesome footage that they collected. And that company, they're going to be demoing an app called First Look. This is Olivier. We're going to give him 2 seconds. It looks like it warmed up perfectly, so I'm going to hand the mic over to him.
Thank you, Jeremy. My name is Olivier Ricordel. I'm with the DigitalGlobe. DigitalGlobe is a company that owns and operates 3 commercial high-resolution satellites. And you probably use the content on the big mapping platform when you do local search. And what I'm going to show you today is something a bit different from our content library that you've seen already in the past. What I'm going to show you is images that were acquired and available on a device like a tablet a few hours after collection. So I'm going to start the First Look application, iPad application. It's a technology preview. And First Look, it's a product from DigitalGlobe that monitors events that are happening in the world. There's about 80 events a year that we are looking after. And the types of events can be natural disaster. Imagine a tornado, a hurricane that occurred, man-made crisis, someone set a fire somewhere, political instability, like we've seen in the Middle East recently, and human interest events. And I'm going to show you something that happened not too far from here, more than just a week ago. And I'm going to zoom in, and it was in the desert in Nevada. So let's have a look at what happened here. Burning Man. So who's been to Burning Man? Wow! So who wants to go to Burning Man? Everybody! So let's go to Burning Man now. So I'm going to zoom in and look at an acquisition that was made on September 6th, which was on Tuesday. And what you are seeing now is the gate where they were checking tickets and checking RVs for people getting into the camp. I'm going to pitch in here and give you a view of the camp from the sky. So this shot was taken at 300 miles above the earth, and you can see the way it's been organized, the fence, which is going as a pentagon around, just a trash net, just to capture everything that could fly out of the camp. Everybody going to this camp, they need to bring everything and take everything back. So there's nothing left behind once they move out. So this picture was on Tuesday after the event was finished. And what we're looking at here is people just tearing down everything they've set up. With this app, I have the ability to move from portrait to landscape, and the ability to compare images. And here I'm going to go back in time. We have this shot taken on Sunday morning. And as you can see, there's 50,000 people here on the camp. So on the right side, you see a picture that was acquired with QuickBird. On the left side, a picture that was acquired with our black and white satellite Worldview 1. We've made more acquisition than two. We made few acquisitions, and that's all about first look. It's looking at an event, could be an earthquake, could be a disaster, but looking days after days for a couple of weeks and showing what's happening. And here I can go back at 10 minutes before the black and white acquisition and show you a nicer color picture of the camp. Something interesting here, if I'm zooming in, here at 2 o'clock, there's a camp called Disorient, who has color, the theme color were pink and orange, and we can see from the satellite, actually, the color here. They have a wiki site, and they have a 3D model of their camp available online, and you can look. I mean, I was really able to recognize this camp when I saw the satellite picture. Now you may wonder what happened even before. We have one more picture that we acquired, and that was on the first Sunday. So people were still moving into the camp, and as you can see here, we can really compare side by side the two pictures. I'm going to zoom out and just show you the power of this application when there's a natural disaster. And we know there's been a lot of natural disasters in the last weeks and months. And here I'm going to just have a look at the types of events we are tracking to give you an idea. So it can be a flooding, it can be a storm, or it can be a tornado. And in Joplin there was a level 5 tornado, which is the highest you can get, 200 miles per hour wind. So I'm just going to zoom here, and as you can see, it's I'm going to change the transparency to show you the map below. Here, it's the St. John's Hospital, and at the top you can see a park, and I'm just going to put the opacity, and you can see everything's been distracted here. Well, let me go back in time and show you the way it looked like before, just to give you an idea of the devastation. So imagine now you're in the field with this tablet, it's connected with 3G, and you're having pictures from the satellite and updates that can only take a couple of hours after acquisition available down to the device. And that can really save life if emergency response team are on site and using the app. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, feel free to touch me after the demo, and follow us on Twitter if you want to, at DigitalGlobe, if you want to see some cool imagery coming from the sky. Thank you.
And next up we have Karthik from Locomatix. Of course, it doesn't work when it needs to, right? Turn it on and off.
Hi, so my name is Karthik, and I'm the co-founder and the president of a company called Locomatix. And Locomatix is a platform that can process terabytes and terabytes of location and non-location data in real time. And in order to showcase the power of the platform, we developed an application called Tweet Heat. So the objective of Tweet Heat is to know where the tweets are coming in real time and to know what area is hot and how dense the tweets are coming from that area, and also like how this could be used in order to differentiate some existing applications or come up with some cool new applications. So with that introduction, I would like to start the Tweet demo. So the Tweet application is available both in iPad and iPhone. And as you can see, let us go to where we are currently. So this is San Francisco, and as you can see, the heat map of tweets. So the heat map of tweets clearly shows where the density of the tweets are. So you can zoom in and zoom out to the point of a single tweet, or you can even zoom up to the entire countries. So as you can see, like we'll refresh and it gets the tweets in real time and renders the heat map on the fly on the iPad. And these tweets are just an hour old. You can even tune it to either a few minutes or a few days to show the density. And have anybody has looked at Twitter in this form of visualization before? Because one of the interesting observations that you can make is which countries are the tweet-friendly countries. So if you look at it like, as you can see, the entire US, where the tweets are coming from, and the corresponding density, and you can even see for the entire world as well. As you can see, Europe is kind of slow now because it's night time there, and India and Africa and Middle East is not a great increase. But one observation that you can make out of it by looking at this visualization is there is in Southeast Asia, Indonesia is very hot. As you can see, like, we are the tweet-friendly country in Southeast Asia. So such visualization is very effective in integrating into some existing applications. For example, one of the applications that we have integrated as a part of the tweeted application is to how local search could be improved depending upon how hotness that area is. For example, if you want to find a bar or a restaurant in a hot area, all you have to do is get such dynamic data which showcases the crowdsourcing. So you can search for the bars, and by clicking on this icon at the bottom, and it will show the bars, and it will also show the heat map around the area, so which clearly indicates how hot the area is. And with this demo, like, I would like to summarize the fact that this is all possible because of the massive backend that we have developed that takes the entire Twitter Firehouse data and processes that data in aggregates them based on the Google tiles and all this time slicing and dicing by space. So that's it. Thank you, guys.
If you guys have any questions, I only allowed each company about 5 minutes to demo so we get through them all, but we'll make sure to throw them all up on the website. And obviously you can grab them afterwards for mingling and ask them any questions. And next up is company Localmind.
Hello everybody, I was just at TechCrunch Disrupt. This might be the last pitch I have in me. This is much more efficient though. That's good. Alright, so who here has ever gone out to a restaurant or a bar or a club or a party and been disappointed? Either it was really busy, yeah, everybody of course. Thank you. Either it was really busy, or it was closed, or it was no fun, or it wasn't kid friendly. So Localmind is aiming to solve that problem by connecting you to someone that's there right now before you leave the house and giving the ability to ask them a question about that place in real time. And so what you see here is all the Localmind users around San Francisco that have checked in on Foursquare or Gowalla or Facebook, and you are able to send them a question in real time. For example, someone at the Hotel Majestic, if you're going there, or the Beauty, or let's see what's over here, Cross Street, or Isabon Sushi. So say you're going to go to Isabon Sushi, pop that up, ask them a question. Is it fun at Isabon Sushi? And you send it. So I'm going to send it. Somebody at that restaurant right now is getting this push notification from Lenny, hey, is it fun at Isabon Sushi? And they respond, oh boy. Let's pick a different venue. Perfect. Look at that. That place is another Japanese place. All right, let's try that. It's because everyone's signing up. It's taking our servers down. There we go. So someone just got this push notification with that question. They open up Localmind and they answer. One of the magic pieces is that we're connected to your Foursquare account, your Gowalla account, your Facebook account. So every time you check in, you become one of these little markers on the map. And if you zoom out, we're all over the world, wherever you want to go. There's a lot of people in Japan that love it. So let's see, there's something else here. So here's questions asked. Earlier today, somebody sent this question to this venue. What I do? There's 3 people that already answered it, which is amazing. I can answer, do a quick answer, I don't know, send, and my answer is done. Oh, look at that. Someone sent me a question. Oh my god. What's going on? Let's see, someone sent me a question. Oh, someone just asked the same thing. All right, excellent, well done. And the other thing you can do is look at other questions people are asking around you right now and around this area. So someone was asking any special drinks at Mars Bar. Not sure, but carnitas nachos are good. So that's great. So you could click like, and oops, and you could, and that person's getting a push. Hey, someone liked your answer, that's awesome. And so the way we look at what we're doing is we're building an omniscience platform. An ability to know what's happening anywhere you want to go, anywhere around the world in real time. And right now it's all Q&A, it's all connecting to someone there. Eventually it'll be connecting to sensors that are at places and feeding from other data sources like the presentation right before me, getting concepts of what's happening from Twitter traffic and other types of data like that. One way that people have been describing this is a reverse Twitter. It's instead of waiting for someone to publish what's happening, you can actually ask them and you can find out whatever you want to know. So that's it. Thank you very much.
So that second question, that was me, just to give you an idea of the time. I, standing right there, sent it, and then Lenny got it 30 seconds later. And I already got an answer that said, Localmind is on stage now, so pretty cool. Next up is Banjo.
Is there another light one in there? Okay. I'm Jennifer Peck. I am with Banjo. And just curious, how many of you have been somewhere and didn't find out that someone you probably would have liked to see, talk to, was at the same place or around the corner and you didn't find out until you got home or next week, or God, I really would have loved to hook up with you. Too bad I didn't know you were there. Well, that was how Banjo started. Our founder and CEO was at the airport in Boston Logan at gate like 22, and someone he served in Desert Storm was at gate 25. Did not know it until he got home and found out, wow, one of my really good friends was 100 feet away from me and I had absolutely no idea. This should never happen again to anyone. And with that, Banjo was born. Banjo is about discovering what you're missing. We are a social discovery service that is a layer on top of existing networks. We are not another social network. I think we have enough of those. But we aggregate multiple social networks like Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, Gowalla, TwitPic, Instagram into one view on your phone so you can see what's happening around you or anywhere in the world. The problem that we are solving is really filtering the noise of social networks. If you sat in front of the Twitter hose, it would be beyond overwhelming. We are helping you not miss opportunities, and we're bridging the gap between social networks, allowing you to communicate between both. So let's take a look. So these are the people who are around our location right now. So we have what we call in our office the Brady Bunch view, the photo view. We have a list view, so you can see what people are saying, and there's Lenny. And we have a map view. So you can toggle between those three. You can go to any location. I'm a big football fan, so Mile High Stadium, I can just pop my pin in there right now, and there's 16 people who are talking about the game. Again, you can scroll through. I can click on someone. I can chat with that person. That is all done within Banjo, and he does not need to be on Banjo to do that. I can follow him on Twitter. Just so you know, this build that you're seeing right now, I just want to go back to that list view. This chat was literally given to me about 2 hours before I got here. So if you download Banjo right now, it will probably be out within a week to 10 days, live in the App Store, both on iPhone and Android. So currently if you download it and you're wondering why you don't see that feature, it's being submitted to the App Store as we speak. I think that's all I have for a demo. Actually, real quick, you can also check in, tweet, right from the app without having to leave it. You can photo share. This is a test. This is not me, Mr. Herb. But But you can add your social networks, again, Foursquare, Twitter, Gigwalk, and Facebook. And one more thing I'll show you. You can sort to show all, show your friends, and show your favorites. So some people say, well, I have no interest in anyone who's around me, I want to know where my friends are. So you can choose the sort by friends, and you will see where your friends are around you. One other thing I'll show, I think I have a couple seconds left. As you move the map, this will load for you, or you can simply go to the map, search for a place. Hope that says Paris. Do I mean Paris, France? Yes, I do. And simply save that. And boom, those are the people who are tweeting, checking in around Paris right now, live. Thank you very much. Banjo is on Android and iPhone, free download, and I'll stick around for any questions after. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dave Smitty. I'm the founder of En Route. You can find us at Twitter at GetEnRoute or online at getenroute.com. And I'll do a quick introduction, and then we'll so I'm going to make some assumptions about everyone here in the office or in the building tonight. I think most of us at some point recently have gone for a meeting and someone was late or didn't show up for some reason. And a lot of us have probably also been late or didn't show up to meetings. En Route isn't just about meetings, and I'll get back to that shortly. Every year in America, we all take nearly 400 billion trips. That's 4 trips per day per person, or a little over 1 billion trips each day. And often, we're taking these trips and we're going to meet someone, or someone's concerned about our progress to that destination in some fashion. And often we're under some kind of schedule constraints as well. Now, this experience of traveling to go meet someone is something we all do predominantly with 20th century technologies. The car, in-dash navigation, the cell phone with voice communication and text messaging. But we live in the 21st century, and En Route is all about taking this experience of getting from A to B, hopefully we'll reach 1 billion times a day at some point, and making that experience better. Make it more like the 21st century. And I think there's at least three characteristics about the 21st century. Hopefully you would all agree. The first one is hyper-connected. The second one is always on. And the third one is access to massive amounts of data at your fingertips, presented to you hopefully in a relevant and meaningful way. We call this experience, 21st century experience of going to a meeting or going to church or dropping the kids off at school or picking them up and taking to soccer practice. We call this group navigation. In the parlance of the Valley, like group meet, but for navigation. And often when we're traveling, like I mentioned earlier, we travel together in groups. Even if we're alone in our car, there's always someone waiting for us somewhere. So our first release is available in the App Store for free on Route 1.0. The team's been working on it for about 10 weeks. It's been on the App Store for a week. So let's take a quick look at it here. We have a couple of key features. Create routes and share routes. So let's take a look at creating a route first. And this would be, I'm going to go down to, let's say in this case, go down to Apple for a meeting. So at the top we have a couple of options here. I can drive, I can take public transit, I could walk as well, but let's take drive. When I enter, I can switch and toggle back and forth. But when I enter an end destination, it doesn't look up in contacts or looks at previously entered destinations. Apple always delivers their phone with their address built into the contacts. So let's select infinite loop. It's going to do lookup and say, oh, I recognize that route, that makes sense. Okay, who do you want to share it with? Well, let's give it a name, and we'll type to Apple, and we'll share it with someone in my contacts list. Let's see, how about Jeremiah Kimmelman? And then a friend here, June, and then how about Jim Smolin? All right, and then we're done. So the next step is going to come here. It's going to show you the title of the route, how long it's going to take to get there, which is 48 minutes and 42 seconds by car, and then the folks that are going to get this information from me. Now, the folks who don't have the app are going to get an email with instructions on how to download and log in and so forth. The ETA is generated dynamically based upon the person's real position, and we'll go ahead and start that. This is a very simple application. Now, say along the way that I want to go ahead and add someone else because I'm thinking, hey, you know, I'm going to Apple and some other folks should know about this. So I'm going to add in a friend here, a friend Aaron. He's now also listed in my progress as I make it down to one infinite loop. And also along the way, just for sake of privacy, you can abandon the route at any time. The person who's sharing the route has complete control over who gets to see what and when. Now the other key feature here is view routes, and I've got about 15 seconds, so we'll load some routes. We see some routes that have expired that I've looked at in the past. They're all grayed out in this list picker. We'll pick my sister. She's down in San Diego, and looks like she is about 34 minutes from getting to point B. Point B is her home up in Oceanside, and I'm guessing she's coming from downtown San Diego. So that's it. En route, it's available on the App Store for free if you have any questions. Talk to me after the show, getonroute.com. Thanks so much.
So the next one is Gigwalk. Just going to quickly show that I did indeed receive an email, and then I'll let them take the stage.
So, hi, I'm Matt. I'm from Gigwalk. Let me look this up. There we go. Okay. So, Gigwalk's location-based mobile workforce. Kind of think about Mechanical Turk and Odesk on top of mobile. So we're a marketplace where customers post jobs that are called gigs, which need to be completed in a specific location. So people who have our app installed on their phone, call them gig walkers, are actually running around doing these tasks and collecting local data, that kind of thing. They take that data, they upload it from their phone to our servers, and it's consumed by our customers. So customers are local data providers, kind of like Microsoft Bing, NAVTEQ and TomTom, menupages.com, that kind of thing. So if we load up here and kind of see, so all of these bubbles are kind of groups of jobs inside of San Francisco, and we kind of zoom into where there's more of America. So we'll take Starbucks. There's a gig at Starbucks right now. If you go and click through onto that. So this gig at Starbucks would be, somebody needs to go there, take a photograph using Microsoft's PhotoSynth app, and that data is then sent up to our servers and consumed by Microsoft to populate Microsoft Bing with better local data. The gig walker would go and complete this gig. Once it gets completed, that gig walker's PayPal $7 for having gone and done that. So you think, well, $7 isn't that much money, but this gig probably would take you about 10 minutes to complete, something like that. Gig walkers will group these in together and kind of go from place to place to place, doing 10, 15 of these at a time. You can kind of see how that kind of turns into a second paycheck for them, just kind of what we've been thinking about Gigwalk as. So customers will actually log into our site and kind of pull up like all the data that gig walkers have gone out and collected for you. Kind of think of it as kind of like a little army that you've got that are running around and doing stuff for you and collecting data, and then all that data is kind of aggregated so you can go and consume it. Anyway, that's Gigwalk. We're in, I guess, 8 metro areas now, including San Francisco. We're in the App Store, obviously. You can go download Gigwalk. We actually posted some test gigs if anybody wants to go try them out. So you can go, if you go and install it, there's 4 or 5 of them in here. And take a picture of somebody with a beard. So we also have, so if you want to go and try on the other side of things and actually try getting Gigwalkers to go and collect some local data for you, you can go log into gigwalk.com, and we have a coupon code. You can go and use mobile_Monday, and you can post some gigs and go try collecting some local data for yourself and kind of see how all the pieces fit together and on all that. So anyway, that's Gigwalk. Thanks very much.
And next up we have reQall Rover.
Hello, my name is Miir. I'm the Chief Product Officer and co-founder of reQall. I'm here to show you a new product that we introduced earlier this year called reQall Rover. It's currently in beta. reQall Rover is a personal assistant that tells you what you need to know before you know you need it. Let me say that again, what you need to know before you know you need it. Before I say more about it, what I'd like to do is show you a short video from 1987. It's a video by Apple about how they envisioned a personal assistant.
Research team in Guatemala, just checking in. Robert Jordan, a second semester junior, requesting a second extension on his term paper. And your mother reminding you about your father.
Surprise birthday party next Sunday.
Today you have a faculty lunch at 12 o'clock. You need to take Kathy to the airport by 2. You have a lecture at 4:15 on deforestation in the Amazon rainforest.
Right.
That's what the iPad looked like back in 1987. So there's a lot of interesting things going on in this video. Email summarization, a voice interface, intelligent prioritization, and there's more to this video. And it's on YouTube, and I really encourage you all to watch it. There's a lot of other very, very interesting things about it. But what I'd like to show you next is my personal assistant, reQall Rover. I got it.
Good evening. You have received 78 emails in the last 24 hours with about 9 action items. A couple of recent items. Tony Perkins wrote, "Will you be joining us as well?" Isabel Madigan wrote, "Please feel free to reach out with any questions or concerns you may have." Your calendar for the next 24 hours has one meeting at tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Meet Gordon Bell. In news related to your interest in Amazon.com, there is a story headlined, Amazon.com teams with 7-Eleven for pickup. For dinner, you might like a Laissez restaurant. It's walking distance and you tend to buy classic Sichuan. While near San Francisco, pick up sweater from your cousin's house. There's a deal related to your interest in bar and club. 5 draft samples at the layover. Current traffic is good. It'll take about 58 minutes to drive home. Today's weather, partly cloudy, with a high of 64. It's currently 62. Have a good evening.
That was all real. Behind this, there's a lot of heavy lifting here too. reQall Rover summarized my email for me. It learned what my interests are and recommends personalized and localized news, deals, and restaurants. And it knows not only where I am, but where I'm going. To accomplish this, it uses not only my location, but deeply analyzes the broader context. It gets this from my calendar, my email, my social network activity, my to-do list, and behind the scenes is some artificial intelligence, machine learning, and natural language processing to make all of this work. I didn't have to type any queries, I didn't have to fill out any surveys about things I'm interested in, and I didn't need to launch a dozen apps. It anticipates what I need to know and presents it to me here and now, and it presents it proactively. There's much more to reQall Rover than I have time to show you here, but just to give you a couple examples, just like a personal assistant, I can ask it questions. So for example, if I wanted to ask it something like, I'd like to know the weather in Cincinnati, then I can ask it questions like that. It can prepare me for meetings coming up. For example, giving me bios of the people I'm going to meet, searching both through my email and searching through the internet for information about the people. And it also notifies me when I need to leave if I have to drive to that meeting based on current traffic conditions. We plan to open this up to third parties. So take, for example, you were looking for a house and you wanted to use something like Zillow or Trulia to help you figure out if there's some interesting properties. Well, wouldn't it be nice if part of that voice summary that Zillow could notify you, hey, there's a property near you, or there's an apartment that fits your criteria that you're looking for rent. You can download reQall Rover from the Android marketplace, but it is restricted access. You need a special code to get access to it. And for those of you in attendance, there is the Mobile Monday code. This is not available for everybody, so please write down that code, MOMO. Download from the Android marketplace and you can try it yourself. Thank you.
Next up is the first game of the night, brought to us by Wild Needle.
Hi everybody, I'm Heidi Carson. I'm the co-founder at Wild Needle, and we're building location-based mobile social games. I'm going to show you our first game today. It's called Shoptown Hero. And the premise of Shoptown Hero is that there was this adorable shop town that fell on some hard times, and it's now being threatened by Fat Ralph and his bulldozers who want to make way for his smelly socks factory. So what you need to do is restore the shops in Shoptown by going out into the real world, gathering items from real world places, bringing them back into Shoptown and selling them to your customers to make money to restore your shops. So I'm going to hit play. So this is Shoptown. I've got some cute shops that I'm working on. And I'm going to go into the Dairy Cow Diner. And you can see the interior of the shop. I have a few tables laid out there, and that's me. That's literally me there, proprietor of the shop. And I'll show you my inventory of items I've already collected. So I've got an apple, I've got a turtle, a notebook, and I'll throw out a couple items just to start placing them. And I'll open my shop, and now my customers start coming in and browsing what I've made available to them. So these are items I've previously collected from going out in the real world, and now they're going to browse around and bring them up to the counter, and we can start doing some negotiation and see if we can sell any of these items. Ah, looks like somebody found a paintbrush and a turtle. Okay, how much does this turtle cost? So now I can negotiate. Pick a price. Okay, perfect, thanks. So over time you learn kind of what people are willing to pay for these different items. Okay, she wants a paintbrush. There you go. Okay, super, thanks. So she likes it. So not every customer is quite as nice as this, but okay, do you have something to eat? Let's see, do I have anything to eat? How about an apple? Okay, how much? All right, he doesn't want an apple for 3, so I have to try a little bit lower. Oh, no thanks. Okay. All right, so it didn't make a sale to him, but so where did I get those items? I got them from going out in the real world, and let me show you how that works. I'm gonna hit the restock button. Now what we're doing is polling Google Places to find 10 places that are around here. So we got UCSF, Mission Bay Conference Center, and a few others that are available to me or level locked. So I'm going to take a couple of these items and throw them into my truck. Take a turtle, take a toy soldier. And as you play the game, you figure out which items are most useful to you, and I'll hit deliver to bring them to my truck. This is our monetization element. Oh, first of all, they want me to post to Facebook. I'm going to skip that. But I'll have an instant delivery, which I use gems, our in-game currency, to deliver to me, so I can have them delivered right away. And now they're going to go swoop into my inventory, and go back to my store, and then I've added those items to my inventory, and I can go through the same process again, selling them to more and more customers. And then when I'm ready to upgrade, you can see over here, the mayor is going to tell me what to do, and he's going to say upgrade by adding a food truck to your dairy cow diner. So I'm going to hit upgrade. Ooh. Truck, stars, fun stuff. So that's Shoptown Hero, and it's currently live in the Canadian App Store, and it's been about 10 days since we put it out there, and we're working on a bunch of different social features and game features before we launch it into the US App Store later this fall. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you, Heidi. And next up is Swiit Apps.
Hi everybody. My name is Floyd D. Agia, and I'm the founder of Swiit Apps. And what we created here is a neighborhood bulletin board. It's a social network for you and your neighbors to communicate. Now, you have Facebook, where you have friends and family. You have LinkedIn, where you have your professional network. But your neighbors are not going to be on any of these networks, and neither you have their phone number or their email. And so there's right now no easy way to communicate. And so we are solving this problem of inhibited communication between neighbors with this location-based geosocial app. Let me demo this for you. It's a map-based app, and everyone who is around the location is now part of your network, just like your neighbors are. And the way you communicate is by using a bulletin board, or you can call it a neighborhood wall, just like your Facebook wall. So this is for your neighborhood. Let's say I need to communicate with my neighbors about something. For example, I just got a new kitten, and I want to share that with my neighbors. Typically, I would have done it on Facebook. But if I share it on Facebook, only my friends know about it. But if my kitten gets lost, it's my neighbors who will be able to find it. And so, as you can see, it automatically calculates the address of your post. But for some posts, you may need your exact location, like, say, an open house. But for something like this, if you're too conscious of disclosing your location, you can just move this post to somewhere near around where you live. So that's where you can protect your location privacy. And you tap it, you enter a title, like my new kitten. take a photo or attach an existing photograph. Just pull it out. So the address is already there, and you say how Gigwalk. That's the name of my kid. You can post it to Facebook directly if you want to share it on your Facebook page. Otherwise, you can just press save, and it's now in your neighborhood wall. And you control your feed of your neighborhood wall by zooming in and zooming out. You tap list, and now you can interact with the posts that your neighbors have posted. Let's say you select one of these. There's a like and dislike feature, and it's like a voting thing. It's not just a thumbs up, thumbs down thing. It's a community thing. So if nobody likes your kitten and they tap dislike several number of times, it gets yanked out. So you can also think of using this thing in a scenario where you are at a Comic Con, festival, or WonderCon, or DC Comics, and you put your costume up and you take an instantaneous vote of everyone around it. So you can also get directions to a post. You also have a share on Facebook if you wish to take this post, and anybody can take posts and share it. All the information is public, and even though there is a Facebook Connect, there is no information from your Facebook that is used by the app. It's all you're taking it from this app and pushing it onto your page. So there's a list view. Like I mentioned before, the app is very simple. It's for everybody in the neighborhood to use without a PayPal account. You don't want people, grandfathers can use the app. It's a very simple communication, sharing, and organizing app. And it's available on the iPhone only right now for free. And so what I have demoed to you is an app progressive on geo. It's progressive on privacy because you're creating your own identity. You're not using your Facebook login or anything like that. You're just creating an arbitrary username. It's progressive on device only, so your interface is only a mobile app. There is no web interface. And it's for progressive neighborhoods and for progressive neighbors. Thank you.
And next up is a presentation from Avego. Raise your hand if you got a free iPhone car charger at the registration table. Here's a better question, is raise your hand if you did not get a free iPhone car charger at the registration table. Make sure you grab one on your way out. They were nice enough to give some to the whole Mobile Monday community. So, without further ado, Avego.
Thanks a lot. Are you guys ready to revolutionize your daily commute? Come on, let's rock! All right, everyone stand up. You're getting tired, you're falling asleep. Stand up, come on, stretch your legs. All right, you only get to sit down if you answer the question right. How many of you walked here tonight? All right, sit down, good job, you're saving the planet. How many of you rode a bike? Good job, sit down. How many of you carpooled, took transit, took BART, a ferry? Anything but driving by yourself. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Wouldn't want to be standing up. All right, for helping me out, you all get a free iPhone car charger kit. Even if you don't have one, take it and sell it on eBay. All right, let's go. Avego, what are we doing? We're revolutionizing the daily commute. My lovely assistant, Teresa, can get me set up here. Basically, we are in the business of making it efficient, safe, and secure for you to get out of your SOV at least once a week and try some other mode of transportation. We don't care if you take a bus. We sell computers that go on a bus and tell you in real time when the bus is going to arrive. You can book a ticket on your phone. We don't care if you're going to take a ferry, if you're going to take a train, or in this case, we're going to show you our carpool product. So it's a free app you can download on the iStore, Windows Mobile, and soon Android. Go ahead and download it at Avego. And as a driver, you need a smartphone because we need to track your vehicle in real time. We got to know where you are to hook you up. Because the point here is that most people don't carpool because they don't want to. It's because it's inefficient. Our lifestyles, we don't have the same schedule. We don't go to the place we want. We want to say we're leaving now, and maybe I want to carpool today, maybe I don't, but you want it to be safe and secure. Now, there's actually 3 places in the United States where carpooling happens naturally, and we live in one of these great cities. So right over the Bay Bridge, every day, hundreds to 1,000 people every day standing on the side of the road and getting cars with strangers. It's called slugging or casual carpooling. We're automating that with a safe and secure tool that tracks the people in the system. So even though you don't know that person, we know their bank account, we know who they are, so that you can rate each other to get the undesirables weeded out of the network to keep the people on best behavior. And for a rider who wants to participate, it only costs them 20 cents a mile to take a ride. So it's efficient, it's clean, it's safe, and it's affordable. And to book a ride, you don't need a smartphone. So as the driver, you can see here, I can decide where I'm going. I can take a one-off trip, or I can select a route that I have saved in the past. So Teresa, if you can book me from here, maybe after the conference. So I'm going to go to Marin. And as you notice at the bottom, I have preferences. So if I only want to pick up other women, if I'm a woman, I only want to pick up people of the same gender for safety and security reasons. You can filter out. You can have affinity groups, same employers. And these are pilots that we're doing around the globe in Cork, Ireland, Bergen, Norway, Dalian, China, and Wright in Seattle, Washington. Now once I'm ready, I can publicize that I'm taking a trip. Now to book a seat, all you need is a phone that has SMS messaging. We all have that. Everyone raise your hand and can send a text message. Come on. You can't send a text message? Is he asleep? Wake him up. Okay, so you can book it with text message. You can go to a website and book a ride using a rider board. This is using a text message. Simply, just like voting for American Idol, you just send a text message Avego and the start and end points. Or using a ride board. This shows you in real time vehicles that are moving willing to set you up with a, pick you up and offer you a ride that are going your way, or in the future. So you can see a day out tomorrow on Thursday if I can get a ride. Finally, once I've started my trip, you see that I'm getting matches, and I get to decide if I want to pick these people up or not. Using the manual rating system, we weed each other out. So if you don't like that person you drove with, you rate them low. And if you're new to the system, maybe you only want to pick up people with high ratings. You can also test or experiment with ghostwriters. So you pick up, Shakespeare and people like that, so you can get a feel for how it works. As well as we support slugging or walk-up pins, just like you would have here in the Bay Bridge. But the difference is that you don't have to feel uncomfortable about asking for money for the tolls. By sharing the cost of operating the vehicle, you as the driver benefit by saving time getting through the carpool lanes, HOV lanes, and money because you're getting reimbursed, and you as a rider can help reduce the congestion that's only getting worse by sharing a seat every once in a while with a bus, a train, a ferry, or in this case, a car. So how many of you are willing to change your habit at least once in the next month and take some alternative mode of transportation? Come on. All right, you can come get 2 kits. Thanks a lot very much for seeing us, and come talk to me afterwards. Appreciate it.
Awesome, and that concludes our demos for the evening. Thank you all for coming. If we can give one more round of applause to our demos today, all using progressive applications for Geo. And a very important announcement. We still have the bar for 35 minutes, and more importantly, I have free drink tickets. So come up to the stage at the end if you want to grab a ticket. Feel free to mingle. All the apps will still be here. Everyone will still be here, so it's a good opportunity to ask the people some questions. Thanks again to NAVTEQ, our wonderful sponsors, for throwing the event. And then to let you know, we're having our next Mobile Monday event, September 26th. So if you were an app that submitted to Demo Night and weren't able to, feel free to resubmit for that event as well. Thank you all again for coming.